Hi there guys, welcome to BoxPred. Boxing can be a strange and troubled sport at times, and that will be evident this weekend as Miguel Cotto puts his WBC World Middleweight title on the line against his challenger Daniel Geale. When you think of middleweight, you think of the 160 pounds weight limit. However, this fight will be at a catch weight of 157 pounds. Stipulated by the champion, the world middleweight champion, Miguel Cotto. I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. You will have your own views on it. All I can say is I disagree with it. I think it's bizarre, and only in boxing, I guess, could this be allowed. So let's get into the fight and what I think will happen. I'm actually taking Miguel Cotto to win this fight, and I'm picking him by stoppage in the middle rounds. Daniel Geale, I'm a fan of Daniel Geale. If you are familiar with my channel here, you will know that. I picked him to take the title off of Sebastian Sylvester in Germany back when he did it a couple of years ago. And he's a guy with skills that I do rate him. He's got some good boxing skills. I understand he was taken apart by Gennady Golovkin, much in the same style that a lot of other guys have been taken apart. I think he lost that fight before he got in the ring. I thought he fought okay for the first couple of rounds, but I really feel he was intimidated, much like Frank Bruno was intimidated by Mike Tyson back in the day. And that's never really, it's a recipe for disaster, really. So it does beg the question, how is he going to go into this fight, because Cotto looked really good last time out against Martinez. And he looked sharp. Cotto looked very sharp against Martinez. Now, I was the first one to come out and say, don't jump on the Cotto bandwagon because, he looked good, but Martinez was not the same Martinez. But, when you watch it back, you can't deny that Cotto looked very sharp to me. His footwork looked impeccable. Like, it was really, he was bouncing around the ring. You watch him as that opening bell sounds. He's really bouncing around. He looks nimble on his feet. He looks sharp. He looks quick. And he's got that deadly lead left hand. I've always seen Cotto as a left-handed fighter in an orthodox stance. His power's in his lead left, and it's pretty devastating. He throws it really swiftly, and I think under Freddie Roach now, he's got a new lease of life, kind of a new lease of life, and I think that he's looking good. He's looking sharp. He's looking offensively on the top of his game, and I think he's therefore got the recipe to really trouble Geale in this one. And like I said, I think he'll stop Geale. Now, I was kind of fighting with myself over this fight because originally I thought that Cotto by decision or late stoppage, because I was giving Geale more benefit of the doubt because he is a skilled guy, Daniel Geale, and he can box. The problem is Geale does like to mix it up. He's quite a proud fighter. He's not the type of guy who you hit and he just ignores it and sticks to a game plan. I think he's the type of guy, one of his disadvantages is he likes to mix it up. He likes to actually come towards you. If you look at him against Golovkin, he actually did try in that fight. He actually gave something in that fight. He wasn't completely backing up all the time. He was at times he was kind of like on the move. He was backing up towards the ropes. He was using lateral movement, trying to escape both ways. But other times he was actually coming forward and being quite aggressive with Golovkin and actually trying to land punches of his own, which is actually a good trait. The thing is, Geale is quite a light puncher. He's not the most heavy. He's not. I think he's gonna have trouble in this fight, really troubling Cotto with his power. And I think in terms of like that power type scenario, the best chance Geale would have with that is that Cotto does mark pretty badly, and I think if Geale were able to land some quick shots on him and get out of there, then he might be able to mark Cotto up and maybe cut him, and that's the only way I really would see him stopping Cotto. Of course, this is boxing. He can land a good body shot or something, but with Cotto's experience and the odds, I would say he's looking at a decision victory. If he wants to take the title, I think Geale needs to go the distance. and I just think that Cotto early on might have a bit of trouble tracking down Geale, because Geale's a pretty good mover and he can fight on the back foot, I think, and he can escape out the sides laterally. But I think Cotto is very good at controlling the ring. He's very good at cutting off the ring, and I think with that lead left hand, although I wouldn't say Geale is particularly vulnerable to a lead left, he does tend to keep his guard up pretty well. I just think it's such a dangerous punch that sooner or later he's going to catch Geale with it, and I think he'll be able to set up further shots. And I think Cotto's going to bide his time. And I think after the first 3 or 4 rounds, we'll really start seeing Cotto closing down on Geale, and I think he's going to get to him. Now, like I said, I did toy with the idea that Geale survives longer or goes the distance, which is perfectly possible because Geale is a gifted boxer. I just think you have to remember this fight is in the Barclays Centre in Brooklyn. Now, I don't think Cotto's ever fought at the Barclays Centre. He normally fights at Madison Square Garden. He that would be considered his home turf, but it's not a million miles away, is it? It's just across the Hudson. So really, it's still a home fight for Cotto. He's going to have the crowd behind him, the Puerto Rican fans, a big following. You've got Geale, who's Australian. He's not going to have much following there probably, or if he is, it may get drowned out. The crowd's really going to be supporting every punch that Cotto throws, and I just think everything's in his favour, really. In terms of the weight, I think that Geale may struggle to boil down to the weight, but then he has 37 hours, I believe it is, between the weigh-in and fight time to actually regenerate and get back up, and he'll fight in the 160s. And he does have a distinct height advantage, and I'm guessing a reach advantage. The only thing there is Daniel Geale isn't a tall fighter. He doesn't fight tall. He bobs and weaves. He's a croucher. He gives away height to add to his movement. And sorry, the video went there. And I think he gives away height, and I don't think that's necessarily an advantage in this fight. And also, I think Miguel Cotto can use his reach very well as well. So that may negate any reach advantage that Geale may possess, which I'm not sure if he does. I haven't checked, but that height advantage I don't think really will play too much of a part in this because, like I said, of the fighting style of Geale. So Daniel Geale really needs to be wary of that lead left. He needs to be on the move. He needs to frustrate Cotto. He needs to look out for times when he can jump in and actually land a couple of punches on Cotto and get back out of there. I don't think he really wants to sit in the pocket with Cotto, like I said, because Cotto does have power. Although this is, people may say this is, a guy who's more of a welterweight going up against a middleweight. Cotto's the guy with the power in this fight, I feel. I don't think it's that's going to be a factor. And yeah, I just feel that this may be a good fight. I hope it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'd love Geale to do something in this fight. I just think that Cotto will end up getting to him, and if he doesn't, then I don't really. I think it's tough for Geale to go the distance and get the decision. So yeah, they're my thoughts on the fight, guys. Please let me know what you think. Do you think that Daniel Geale does it, or do you think Cotto does it easier than I'm saying even? Yeah, let me know, guys. Enjoy the fight. Thanks for watching. This is Box Bread. I'm out.